Hi loves, this is Pamela with Pamela's Tarot Tales, and I am here for day 9 of 31 Days of Tarot. So this one is about your tarot goals for 2018, and I actually have quite a bit. So, first off, I'd like to get to know my decks better, and that is also another hashtag, or another day, I'm sorry, not another hashtag, that I will cover with days 10 and 11. So I'll work that in with another one because I don't want this to be a long video. So the next one is I really want to learn, and I kind of have an inkling of Tarot de Marseille, but I really want to dive into Tarot de Marseille. So I bought 3 books at the beginning of January with some Christmas money. Yay. The first one that I'm working with is Tarot on Earth by Tom Benjamin, or Benjo. This one is a workbook, and it complements the other ones pretty nicely, but I was really drawn to this one because I tend to do tarot as a counseling kind of psychological tool and spiritual and development that way, but he really talks about connecting it into everyday life, into making it just more accessible, not so psychological. And I like that idea. I like being able to learn how to ground my readings. And so I'm really curious about this book. I just started it. I am on chapter 1. So far so good. I'm doing the work. It is a lot of work though. So that's going to take a lot this year, which I'm excited for. So the next one, and is working really well with that book, is the Marseille Tarot Revealed by Yoav Bendov. This is kind of a new version of the open reading. I don't have the open reading. I went ahead and just got this one because it has color photos in it. Let's see if I can find one for you. But it comes highly recommended, so I am excited to explore this and see how my year goes with Marseille. And I'm drawn to Marseille because as an intuitive reader with a lot of information, sometimes with a lot of pictorial information, I can tend to go on and on and on, and I get deep into that information. And sometimes I want something a little more succinct, something a little bit more, I don't want to say direct, because pictorial interpretations can be direct as well, but I just want something quicker, a little bit more succinct. And Tarot de Marseille may not always be that way, but what I'm finding with pip decks is that it can be. It can still be read intuitively, it can still, but there is a system as well. So I'm curious, I want to learn about that. And I've also got The Way of Tarot by Alejandro Jodorowsky. So those are goals for 2018. I would like to read full-time, professionally, but in conjunction with the animal tales that I do, the animal communication. And I don't read tarot for that particular process, but for me they're all along the same lines. They're in the same understanding. They're both intuitive work, they're both healing, they're both really working with my intuition, and I want to be able to do that to be of service, and I want to be able to do that full time. Another tarot goal is to be more visible through tarot, and I think that's a great way to connect with people, and not just in your community or my community, although I'm not sure about going out in my community as of right now, but hopefully in the future. So I'm starting with social media, I'm starting with YouTube, I'm putting these videos out, and I'm excited for them. I'm excited to connect with people, I'm excited to see what they're doing, I'm excited to put my face out there, put my spin on things as well, because I have a voice and I want it to be heard. So that transitions also into the groups on Facebook. I've decided to co-host leading some Tarot de Marseille study in a group. So we'll see how that works out. But I think it'll be good. It'll give me a structure to keep studying, but also as a teacher, I used to be a teacher. As a teacher, once you're a teacher, you're always a teacher. But as a teacher, I also learn really well through teaching, and I want to bring some of that into my tarot work. I want to bring some of that into being visible and into my real life and see how that can play out. I want to work with the Justice and the Strength cards this year. So my number is 8 for this year, and as my birth card, and the number for 2018 is 11. And since I'm working both with Marseille and Rider-Waite-Smith base decks, I want to work with both of those numbers. To me, I feel like they really are going to work together for me this year, and I'm not sure how, but I really want to explore into that. I want to constantly bring that up and look at it and see, okay, well, how can I call on this information, this archetype? How can I call on these energies? How can I bring them in? How are they playing out? How are they interacting with my daily life? How are they interacting with the big picture of my life? And so I'm hoping to really explore that and how those work in conjunction with my words. I decided to do 3 words this year. This is the first year I'm doing it. And the first one is visible, and we've talked about that, and so bringing that in. That's not the first one, but that's one of them. Another word is self-actualization. And the third word, let's see if I can remember, implementation. So I'm curious how those energies of those archetypes play into fueling my goals, my desires for the year for 2018, my words. And I want to make sure that I am reviewing my year ahead spread that I did and make sure that I'm looking at it pretty frequently. I don't want it to be something that goes to the wayside and I forget about it, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I did that at the end of the year, and not pay attention to it. So I want to make sure that I'm incorporating that in, seeing how it plays with the Strength and the Justice, see how it plays out in my life, see how it comes into actualization, and see what comes to fruition. And I do believe everything is changeable, that nothing is set in stone, that year ahead is just to give some guides, that I can change that or course of direction at any time. But having that information, having it where I can look back at it, can be comforting in some ways. It can be affirming. It can be also helps me see my own growth through that process and say, no, that's changed. That's not how I want to proceed. So that's a lot of tarot goals for 2018, and I am excited to get started with you guys by, one, working on my visibility and putting these YouTubes out there and see who watches. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I've enjoyed making it. I'll see you back for the next days. This is Pamela with Pamela's Tarot Tales, and this was #31 Days of Tarot, Day 9, Tarot Goals. Have a great day.